Grief is a tough one for me. And I promised myself that I would hold space for myself and my tears, so I hope that you will hold space for them as well and hold space for your own if they should appear. My daughter Delaney was born on June 7th, 2015. She was 5 pounds, 5 ounces. Pink with curly brown hair and ruby lips. She was right there, and yet she was dead. This beautiful being was placed, eyes closed and peaceful on my belly. My husband and I had 4 heartbreaking hours with her. And then we handed her back. I had a bad day last week. Delaney felt far away. I turned to a Facebook support group for moms who had stillborn babies, and I posted Delaney's picture here. I knew these moms would be okay seeing her. And then something really interesting happened. A mother private messaged me and sent me a link to an organization that will doctor your stillborn baby's photos to make them appear more alive or sleeping. She said that this was a wonderful service for her family members because they had had difficulty seeing their dead son. I was taken aback and simultaneously angered. Why do I need to doctor photos? This was Delaney. Beautiful, chubby-cheeked Delaney, and she was dead. No photo could change that. And quite honestly, I'm not sure I wanted to make death more palatable for anybody else. I wanted Delaney to take up space in this world, whether her lifespan was 100 years or 9 months in utero. This doctoring business got me to thinking about our society's denial of grief and loss. I began to think about all the many encounters my family had had over the past 11 weeks. Individuals that would pretend not to see me in the grocery store. Others who dismissed our grief with a, "You'll have another baby just like my neighbor did." Someone referred to Delaney as having been born sleeping, and I can assure you, as my husband can, she was not born sleeping. It floors me to think about how many phrases are used in place of the word. Bereft of life, passed on, called home. French writer and philosopher Voltaire said, "One great use of words is to hide our thoughts." Our thoughts around the subject are often steeped in fear, and thus creates the inability or unwillingness to discuss or embrace the idea of loss. Many of us don't have the words. They've never been made a part of our vocabulary. This is where the Grief Support Network comes in. They're changing the conversation around death and dying, grief and loss. They're bringing it out of the dark, out of hushed tones, and dare I say, even making it dinner time conversation. Whether it's the loss of a family member, a divorce, or even a dream squashed. This is grief. So how is GSN empowering people to change their experience around grief and loss? One gathering at a time, one phone call, one retreat. For us, it was a referral to a child psychologist to support our 3-year-old who was having frequent nightmares. It was also a grief circle assembled to hold space for me that was comprised of moms who had also lost their babies. GSN anticipated our needs before we even knew what those needs were. When you find yourself in a state of grief, there is nothing more supportive than knowing that you have a team around you. There are ways that they support one family at a time, but they also have the ability to touch larger populations. Their next opportunity is in October when they bring in Saban Fusome, the foremost voice in African spirituality and the keeper of the grief ritual. It's here that I'm planning on learning how to embrace my grief in an unfettered, unadulterated way, and even learn how to forget all the voices that said, "You're fine, don't cry." Grief, when invited in and acknowledged, has the ability to transform and bring us closer to our true selves. The Grief Support Networks provides the tools to support that transformation. For this reason and so many others, I'm now a part of their team as both a client and their program director. This is important work we're doing. Thank you.